One thing most people forget in a relationship is also the key to making love grow is if you haven't watched the last video we post, check it out. Let's listen to Cianne and Landon testimony. Cianne had had enough. Married to Landon for 19 years, she had tried to be loving until it had almost killed her emotionally. Landon had a long-standing problem with addiction and also with anger. Sometimes the two problems would come together and make life unbearable for her. In addition, he would pick at her in an emotionally devastating way with biting, sarcastic remarks. "Nice dress. Didn't they have it in your size?" was the kind of thing he would say. He would not help her with the kids either, seeing it as the wife's job. "In your size." Cianne was an adapting, loving person who had always tried to avoid conflict and to win people over with love. When people were mean, she would become nicer and try to love them more. The problem with Landon was that her love only gave him more and more permission to be unloving himself. His addiction and other behaviors continued to get worse, and she finally could not take it anymore. She discovered that it was not good to be the silent sufferer. Some people at her church encouraged her to speak up to Landon about how his problems affected her. She took some courses on assertiveness and began to confront him. Sadly, Landon did not listen. Sometimes he ignored her confrontations. At other times, he apologized without changing. And at still other times, he grew angry and defensive. But at no time did he take her words to heart, see how he was hurting her, and change. Cianne finally gave Landon a choice: own his problem and take responsibility for it, or move out. She would no longer allow his addiction and anger to affect her and the children. She would take protective steps to guard the good and not let evil destroy it. At first, he did not believe her, but she stood her ground.
She would no longer allow his addiction to affect her and the children.
Finally, he moved out. Had he not done so, she might have moved out herself or gone to court. But seeing for the first time that his behavior had consequences, Landon took his problem seriously. He obtained some help and turned his life around. He and Cianne were reconciled a year and a half later, and their marriage was saved.
He obtained some help and turned his life around.
So what do you think Cianne and Landon missing on their marriage? It's protection. The last aspect of boundaries that makes love grow is protection. Think of your house for a moment. You probably have some protection around your property somewhere. Some of you have a fence with a locked gate, for example, to protect your property from trespassers. Some people, if they were able, would come in and steal things that matter to you. As Jesus said, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and then turn and tear you to pieces." Matthew 7:6. You need to be careful and protect yourself from evil. Some of you do not have a fence, but you lock your doors instead. However you do it, you have a protective boundary available when needed to keep the bad guys out. But your locked gate or door is not a wall either. You need to be able to open the gate or door when you want to invite good guys onto your property or into your house. In other words, boundaries need to be permeable. They need to keep the bad out and allow the good in. As it is with your house, so it is with your soul. You need protective boundaries that you can put up when evil is present and let down when the danger is over. And that's the power of setting healthy boundaries. Love isn't just about giving, it's also about protecting what matters most. Cianne's story shows us that true love doesn't mean tolerating pain or allowing someone to stay trapped in their own struggles. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is stand firm, set boundaries, and trust that real change is possible. If this message resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Have you ever had to set a boundary to protect your relationship? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more content like this. Let's keep building stronger, healthier, and faith-filled relationships together. Thanks for watching.